Okay. So I would like to welcome you all this evening. And I'd also like to warn you that I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do this before I walk off. But if I walk off, it just means I've lost it a bit, so don't worry. And someone else will step in my place. So you're probably, some of you thinking, who is that person down there who's been wandering around? Well, my name is Linda, but in Rutland, I'm generally known as Steve's sister. And I'm kind of resigned to the fact that now it's been on radio and in the paper, I'm forever to be known as Steve's sister, but there you go. It's not so bad. I can live with that. I want to thank you all for coming out tonight and to share this tribute and celebration of my brother. And we did think that the weather was going to be rotten, but actually it started off bad. But I think Stephen's had a hand in making sure that we're all okay and we'll all get home safely tonight. So for once, brother, you did it right. Now, there are some people that are going to talk about Steve and tell you lots of stories to do with him in Rutland and Vermont and as a musician. I'm not going to do that. What I want to do is to talk about you, because Steve came over to this country not knowing anybody except his wife and a couple of his wife's friends. So he didn't know anybody, and yet at the end of his life, he knew practically everyone and had played with practically everyone or mended everybody's guitars or amps or so forth. And that was partly to do with his talent, but I think more than that, it was to do with you folk having an impact on him. So I want to thank you for making his life a really special one. And I want to thank in particular the musicians who have turned out tonight. And there are many that would have liked to have come, but unfortunately couldn't make it for all sorts of reasons. And those musicians are the very people that taught my brother quite a lot of things. They taught him how to play the guitar, because in fact, when he came over here, he could only play the bass guitar. Well, he was pretty good at it, but not that good. And the musicians that were here took pity on him and invited him to play with their bands. And by, his network grew, and he got to know lots and lots of guys and girls. He got to play with lots of people, and he learnt an awful lot along the way. So I would like to thank the musicians for getting Steve to where he was. But also, I'd like to thank the bar managers. I always like to thank the bar managers. I'd like to thank the bar managers and the bar owners because they gave him the opportunity to play. As I said, he didn't really know anybody when he came over here. And through playing with the other bands, so the bar managers began to trust him, to allow him into their bars, to hopefully entertain the customers and bring the customers back. And he had that opportunity because the bar managers and the bar owners trusted him. So I'd like to thank the bar managers and the bar owners. I'd also like to thank all the music shop owners, because they let him loose in their music shops, and there is a kind of myth going around that he wouldn't let anyone touch the guitars when they walked in. They were banned. But the music owners allowed him, or set him loose on their amplifiers and the guitars, and he was able to learn his craft of being a luthier and mending other people's amps as well. So I'd like to thank the people who own the music shops. And I'd also like to thank the bands that came to Vermont, which he didn't play with, but trusted him to run their sound. Now, in England, he didn't do any of that, so I think he must have been maybe a little economical with the truth to begin with. But he built up their trust. And so the bands that came to Vermont and the bands that he wasn't actually a part of trusted him to run the sound to make sure that in the end, they sounded really, really good, and I think they did. And there are probably loads and loads of other people that I would like to thank for making his life a good one. Tell them we're not here. Because at the end of the day, we were talking about this a couple of days ago. If Steve had stayed in London with us, with the family, I don't think he would have been very happy. I don't think he could have done any of those things because he wouldn't have had the opportunities that you guys gave him in Rutland and in Vermont. When he came here, he could live his dream. And not many people can do that. So he was very, very lucky. He lived his dream. Rutland opened their arms to him and their hearts. And that meant that even when he died, he was still living his dream. And really, that's thanks to you guys. So in a minute, I'd like to give an applause to you. Never mind giving one to me. And I guess tonight what we're going to do is we're going to just live that dream a little bit longer, say goodbye to him, and then listen and have a bit of a knees up. That's what we say in England, have a bit of a knees up. And see him off in the best possible way we can, because he's a son of Vermont, not a son of London. He's your son, and we need to send him off like a son should be sent off. So thank you to all of you. So I did that without my notes, and I probably left those things out, but it's okay. Now, I have a list of speakers. I didn't do very well just now. Now, one of the things I do in London and in the rest of the country, and sometimes abroad, is I'm a trainer, dreaded trainer, who has people doing icebreakers. Now, that may mean nothing to some of you, and for others, that will put the fear of God into you. Well, I'm going to do that now because I've got a blank list over here, and there are a couple of people who want to speak. But I do have a little idea that I'd like you to help me with. Now, you are scattered to the four winds, which is going to make this a bit difficult, but I think we can overcome that. What I'd like you to do is, if possible, and you might need to move, although there are people coming and settling in, I want you in a minute to either turn around to someone behind you, or if you don't know the people next to you, somebody next to you, or somebody in front of you. And I don't want you to leave anybody out. We know what a great community you are. We know how caring you are. So keep an eye on everybody around you. Don't let anyone sit there and feel silly or stupid. And what I'd like you to do, like Steve, who was very keen on making friends, I'd like you to introduce yourself to that person and share some sort of memory that you have of Steve. How did you meet him? Where did you meet him? What's the memory that you might have of him? So, could you do that for me? Could you do that for me? Hey man, could you do that for me? Go. Okay, time's up. So I've always wanted to do this. They do it on the movies and the telly, don't they? I've always wanted to do this. This is grand, isn't it? Now I'm not going to cry. I'm having fun. You can sit down now. So, I'm just going to, don't look worried or terrified. If you're looking terrified, I won't pick on you, all right? Don't worry about it. So, what I'm going to do now is just to ask a couple of people who the person was that they spoke to and what the memory was that that person had. So, you're not talking about yourself. You're going to talk about someone else. So, you're on the end. I'm really sorry about this. Could you manage this? Who did you speak to?
I couldn't hear very well, but I have. I met Steve when I was about 14 years old, hanging outside of Whirlaways.
Oh, really? Why were you hanging out there?
I was hanging out at the Fun Factory. He was hanging out down there at Whirlaways, probably hanging with the musicians, doing what he's always done.
That's great. Good. Let me run around and do some more here. Okay. You laughing. Can you pass the mic to him? Who are you and what's your memory?
Who, me? Hey, how's it going? I'm Luke Dauphiné. My favorite memory of Steve Audsley was probably when I was in 10th grade at Ezra Sound, because I'd never really seen anybody with an English accent like that. And so that was a long time ago, and it's been a long time, so.
And over here. Yes! You want to say something, don't you?
Well, I was a bartender when Steve.
There's a theme
I was a
here.
bartender of the Mountain Killington, and also at the Fairmount, and also I started at the Fairmount. Wow. Wait on him many years ago, and then Potbelly and Ludlow, and we had a lot of fun. My kids, Leroy and his brother. It was really wonderful souvenir of Steve.
Brilliant. Lovely. All right, I'm not going to put the fear of God into you anymore because time is ticking and you probably really want to hear the musicians, I'm guessing, but there are a few stories that you might want to listen to. So over here, glugging her drink very quickly, is Steve's niece. Is that right? Yeah. Steve's niece, Sarah, who just wants to have a little word with you. Is that okay?
Hello. I don't do this because, I get nervous and look how many of you there are. All right, so thank you. All right, so I'm not as important as Linda, but I've had the honor the past couple weeks to be hanging out with Linda and Jim, who so kindly came all the way here just for her brother Steve. So I met Steve, I was really little and bless you. And so like I said, yeah, he's my uncle. I remember I have a bunch of memories. He, would play with the Space Monkeys up at the grist mill. And my sister, right over there recording in the red jacket with the curly hair. Wave. So she's 21 and I'm 19, so it's a couple years apart. We would go and we would dance. We would dance for hours. My dad, who's up there, hi Dad, he would take us there, and we would go to some of his gigs. We would just dance and dance for hours and never get sick of it. So, and then, as most of you know, he likes to go down to the coffee exchange right here on the corner. Oh my God. So he'd go down to the coffee exchange, and just have some coffee and talk and talk and talk. So some of the conversations I've heard were funny and I can't repeat. And some just have great memories and stories. And all of us here are here for one reason, and that's because Steve has touched us. He's, impacted our lives. And there's a lot of you here. There's a hell of a lot of you up here. So that's all I really wanted to say. Thank you very much for coming. It means a lot. And I was told Dwayne Carlton would like to speak. All right, thank you.
All right, before I read my statement, I actually got sent this by Guy Burledge from the Spiders. All right, words for Steve from Guy Burledge. What can be said that hasn't been said already? Much has been said about you, and the fact of the matter is that every bit of it is truth. I'm so glad that we had a couple of really nice long phone conversations last month with a lot of laughs. So very glad for that. You treated everyone fairly. You were the same guy to people that were just beginning to learn to play as those with your same talent and experience. One of the Spiders. You were an original and founding member of the Spiders. You were, in fact, Long John Spider. Yes. And with you on bass, we had a real good time rocking Rutland for a few years. One of your featured songs has now become prophetic, Miss You by the Stones. There was no job or request from a friend that was too hard for you. I'll never forget you and I laying on our backs on Center Street late one evening with a flashlight and socket wrench set swapping out a starter in my truck, which I'm sure was after a gig. I also remember a particular Spiders road trip to Waterville Valley, New Hampshire, where you and I were back at the band condo and there was a VCR there and a videotape of some movie that neither of us had ever seen called This Is Spinal Tap. We had a lot of laughs watching that film. It made me think this. If character was measured like numbers on the volume knob on an amplifier, your amp's volume would not just go to 11, it would definitely go to 12. We will miss you. Godspeed, Long John Spider. All right, this is from me. I first met Steve when I was around 13 years old. My friends and I had a band at school called Personal Ads, and we would often frequent Ezra Sound. First when it was over here on Merchants Row, and then later when it was on Center Street. Steve was a fixture there, working behind the counter and also doing repairs. I have a clear memory of the first time I heard him play. My mom and I were driving along Main Street, and there was a band playing in the park. It was the British American Band. I rolled down the window to hear them playing a Rolling Stones tune, with Steve's English accent adding just the right authenticity to the song. And they were rocking. A short time later, I was in Ezra Sound trying out guitars in hopes of stepping up my game from a $50 guitar to a $100 guitar. And Steve picked up a guitar and played the opening lick to Honky Tonk Woman. How did you do that, I asked. His reply, if you want to take a lesson, pay for a lesson. If you want to jam, let's jam. I actually reminded him of this story within the last few years, which just made him chuckle. When Steve passed, I became aware of posts from people who attended his open mic nights, talking about how he had mentored them and encouraged them to play music. And it had not occurred to me until his passing that he had done this to me as well. Why else would he even want to jam with a 14-year-old kid? He became the sound man for our band Personal Ads, and he never treated us like kids, and we were not the greatest band ever, 14-year-old kids playing top 40, but he treated us like one of the guys, and he would jump in the van with us and go to gigs all over Vermont. So after I got out of high school and dropped out of college, Steve put together Johnny and the Hancocks. This was a blues band, and they played every Sunday night at the Silver Club. Steve, as I would come to find out, was the torch carrier for blues music in the Rutland area. Over the years, many of us would joke that, Steve had invented the blues. But truthfully, at the time, there was only he and Chris Kleeman that were playing blues back then, at least as I can recall. And this was before Stevie Ray Vaughan kind of sparked the blues revival. So Steve was ahead of the curve. He asked me to play bass for Johnny and the Hancocks, which I'm sure was much more out of desperation than respect for my skills at the time, because I am not a bass player. I wasn't a good bass player then, and I'm not now. But to learn tunes from the band, he turned me on to music and players that I wouldn't have found on my own, including Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac, Dr. Feelgood, and Rory Gallagher. As the years went by, Steve and I weaved in and out of each other's musical lives, playing many, many gigs together. He played gigs with me in Tin Pan Alley. I played shows with him with the Alley Cats. We would do duo shows together. He would run sound for my band, the Backwoods Messiahs. He did this oftentimes for short money because he believed in the music we were playing and he wanted to be a part of it. He would even come to shows where there was a house sound man in order to oversee what was going on and make damn sure that the band sounded great, and we always did because of Steve. So during nearly the 4 decades, we never had a falling out. We became closer over the years. Ultimately, we ended up playing together with Gary Spalding as the Space Monkeys, which we did a lot of shows in the past couple of years. And this was a band that Steve took pride in, as the band was a well-oiled machine, is how Steve saw it. That there, we didn't have set lists. We just played, and we all could follow each other's cues, and everyone knew what they were supposed to do. Stevie called he and I like the pit crew, because we could show up, load in the PA, the guitar rig, the bass rig, set up, be sound checked in 20 minutes. Something he took a great deal of pride in. And the loadout was just the same. So we ended up spending a lot of time riding in a van, talking about how here we are, all these decades later, still loading gear in and out, playing rock and roll and blues. And we also spoke on the phone often, sharing gossip, talking about gear. And there have been many times in the past few weeks that I've caught myself thinking, Steve would get a kick out of this, I gotta call him. Exactly. My wife knows when the answering machine is the only person that calls me Dwayne. He's like, Dwayne, Stevie, call me. Steve was part of what I see as a very elite group. Not many people have the fortitude to play music for a living, particularly playing bar gigs for decade after decade. He would say that he and I would still be playing gigs together in another 20 years, In fact, we were supposed to play together this Friday. It was his downright love and passion for music that cemented his position as an icon, a cornerstone of our community. He participated in every facet of music that he could. The number of people who have played music with him, the number of musicians he ran sound for, the number of clubs he did installations for, the number of people who attended clubs he DJ'd for, the number of people he mentored, the number of people he participated in benefits for, the sheer numbers are astronomical. I have no memory of a music scene that Steve wasn't a part of. He has been part of my life for nearly all of it. And we have all lost someone very special. Not only was he a great talent, but he was a great friend. In life, you have very few true friends, and Steve was that for me. We were musical cohorts, brothers in arms, but most importantly, he was my friend. Thank you for that, Stevie. I love you, and I will miss you, and always carry you in my heart, my memories, and my music.
I wasn't expecting to come back. I think we probably come to the end, unless anybody out there would like to say a few words. Robbie.
Thank you. One more time for Dwayne. I'd like to thank the Paramount, Eric, Millette, and obviously Dwayne and all of you for coming out here tonight. Steve meant a lot to everybody here, and it obviously shows. 30 years is a long time, and that's how long I knew Steve. I remember meeting Steve when I was about 14, and I see some of you guys doing the math out there. The teen nights at the Ritz they used to do were second to none, and I remember some very good times there, and I remember my mom and dad pulling me out of there by the hair. Between that and Ezra Sound, Steve made a pretty big impression on a young me. I remember going into Ezra Sound and looking at all the guitars and all the equipment in awe and thinking to myself, boy, I'd like to use some of that someday. That's some nice stuff. I'd reach out to go ahead and touch one of those guitars or strum it, and I'd hear from behind the counter, "Don't pick it up if you ain't gonna buy it." And I'd look over, who's that? Oh, geez, that's that guy. They told me about him. Holy cow, that's Steve. Steve lived a "don't pick it up if you ain't gonna buy it" way of life, and he put his all into everything he did, and that's what I mean by that. Whether it was repairing an amp, fixing a tenant's apartment, helping a friend out, and especially his music. Several years went by, and I had my first band, and I ended up buying a Carbon tabletop mixer. I was pretty proud of that mixer because it was my first one, and it came from some special people. And long story short, first band fails, as they do, and I needed to sell that mixer. I put the word out, and everybody I spoke to says, go down and see Steve Audsley. He's probably going to want that mixer. Sure enough, I went and saw Steve and kind of knew him, but didn't really know him, but knew of him, and we became friends that day. A couple days later, he bought the mixer. He still has it to this day, as far as I know. I'm pretty sure, last we spoke about it. At that time, he was doing sound on the weekends at Ollie's, and he was always frustrated that he had to run the snake across the dance floor, and people were going to run over that. And I remember the day they finally let him rip up the dance floor and run the snake underneath. He was so proud of that. He was psyched. It was pretty cool. But I realized that was the best place to stand, was by the sound guy. If you want to go see a live performance and you enjoy the band, that's where you stand to hear the best sound. By doing that, we became friends, and we talked about music, sound gear, different bands, all that stuff. So it didn't take long before I was hooked and really wanted to be a part of the scene. So then I had a different band, and it was a little bit more successful. And I had never really heard of an open mic night. I didn't know what that was all about. And I knew that there was something going on down there at Ollie's, and it, again, included Steve. This was years later. So I started going down to that, and we would have a great time, and we'd do the open mic on a Wednesday night and rehearse with the band on a Thursday night. And Steve always made us feel really welcome, and it was fun because we got to play with different guys. It was always different people at these open mics. I'm sure Steve's looking down right now going, Jesus Christ, Robbie, when the hell's the music gonna stop? Sorry. I feel blessed to have known Steve on the level of friendship that we shared. We had recently talked about mortality, his family's, mine. We talked about music greats that we've lost way too soon, like Prince or Lemmy from Motorhead. Steve was pretty pissed off when Lemmy died recently. He knew he was never going to get that 15 quid that Lemmy owed him for working on that damn Marshall amplifier. Ferocity is defined as a very fierce or violent quality or state of being ferocious. We should all take a page from Steve's book, and we should live life and go into all that we do with the ferocity that Steve did. Remember, he always brought a professionalism that was second to none. A lot of you know that I work a lot, as many of you do. My only regret is not going to Steve's open mic more often, because we always had such a good time there. We always had a blast. More often than not, I'd get there late, and we'd just sit, shoot the bull, have a couple switchbacks. I'm gonna miss him. In conclusion, I'd like to start a new tradition. Instead of celebrating people's lives after they pass, I'd like to start a tradition where we celebrate all of you and all of you who have impacted my life while we're still here to hear it. I've bumped into a lot of you backstage and out here and in the hallways tonight. I haven't seen a lot of you in a long time, and it means a lot to me. I'd like for each and every one of you to know that I love you, and I appreciate you being a part of my life, and how much you mean to me, each and every one of you. If everybody could, maybe kind of do what we did earlier with Linda's idea and look to the person to your left. Tell them, say, you know what? I appreciate you. And thank you for all you've done for me. Because you never know. And always remember, a very wise man once said, don't pick it up if you ain't gonna buy it.
One of the things I've learned over the years, and it just over and over, you never want to follow Dwayne Carlton doing anything. I followed a similar path to all of the musicians who are here. I came about it a little bit later, having given it up for a while to try to learn something, sold all my equipment, and came to Rutland for a job interview. And when I went to the job interview, my wife had came with me, and they told me to leave and that they wanted to interview her. So I walked out of the door and walked around the corner to Center Street, and I went into Ezra Sound. This was February 19th, 1989. Well, you know who I met. And we became friends almost instantly. He actually never told me to put anything down. Because I was in a tie, he wanted me to pick it up. Because he figured if I dropped it, I would buy it. But Steve and I became close friends over a long period of time, and we, like all of you, we played in a million bands together. I never really did the open mic thing, but was always invited to either sit in with a band that Steve had or a band that I had going. Steve was in a couple of bands that I started early on in the early Beagles, the Usual Suspects, and we had gigs we actually still had planned for a year from now. But I wanted to tell you one story about a trip we took. I had booked a gig at the Four Seasons Hotel in Montreal. And if you knew Steve, you understood that his immigration status was always a little cloudy. He allegedly had a green card, but I'd never seen it. And so getting in and out of countries was always problematic. But Steve always had a magic gift of gab, and it didn't matter whether he was stopped by law enforcement in Rutland at 3 a.m. after a gig, or whether it was Border Patrol going into Canada to do just one little gig for $4,000. So we somehow we got into Canada. We didn't have a work visa. And we made our way to the Four Seasons Hotel, and one of the guys who was playing with us got stopped at the border because he had a criminal record. Go figure. When we ultimately went up and we did the gig, and the hotel had given us a couple of rooms with mini bars. And the guy with the criminal record drank the entire mini bar. And he had been riding with me and Steve. But on the way back, he wasn't with us. And I think he's still there. Getting back into the country proved more problematic for Steve than leaving during that trip. But ultimately, he had a stack of paper, like all crumpled up in a ball, and convinced the Border Patrol agent that he'd been living in Rutland, Vermont for 30 years, and all was well. And he did get back in the country. Immediately upon crossing the border, he wanted his share of the purse, which was fine. In any event, over the years, I was happy to serve as Steve's best man at one of his weddings, and married him one time, and not personally, but not that there's anything wrong with that. And became, his bandmate and lawyer and friend. And, so now we come to the end. And as Steve would say, shut up, get on with the music. And I can't do his accent. But I'm going to do that. And before we do, I'll just ask that everybody just, in their own way, silently think of Steve, and we'll do our best tribute to him over the next couple of hours. All right, thank you.
circus mind if it's running wild. Butterflies and zebras and moonbeams and fairy tales. Riding with the wind. When I'm sad, she comes to me with 1,000 smiles. She brings me free. Well, it's all right, she says now, it's all right. Take anything you want from me. Anything. When I'm sad, she comes to me with 1,000 smiles. She brings me free. Well, it's all right, she says now, it's all right. Take anything you want from me. Anything.
How's everybody doing tonight? Yeah, let's hear it, man. Very nicely done. I am your Uncle Dave. I knew Steve because been working in the music scene now for about 10 years here in Rutland. First time I ever met Steve, it was at a gig at Triple D's. He was, I think Dwayne might have been playing with him. And I was with Terry J, and we were in the joint. We played some pool and everything. I think they were kind of doing an open mic night thing, kind of swapping some people out, and I turned to Steve and I asked him about it. I was like, hey man, maybe I could sing it. He goes, who the fuck are you? So yeah, I mean, Terry J leans over to me, he goes, he likes you. So yeah, and that was my introduction to Steve Audsley. And he was a great guy. And we're here celebrating his life tonight. We got a lot of music to get to. Once again, Dwayne Carlton, Matt Valerio, Jeff Perumsky, and Gary Spalding on that Lil Wing. Let's hear it again for him, y'all. Up next, we have a John Prine classic, a nice rendition here done by Rachel Hills, Dwayne Carlton, Hannah LaFazio. I hope I get these names right tonight, too. Jeff Perumsky, Brian Hobbs, Gordon Goes, and Chris Paluto. Let's hear it for him, y'all.
Check 1, 2. Just like to say I love my friend. I'll miss him every day. Think of him every day, and I'm gonna sing him a song. You got another angel up there. Your dreams were thunder, and lightning was desire. This old house would have burned down a long time ago. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give them the one thing that I can hold on to. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. I was a young girl. I had me a cowboy. He wasn't much to look at, just a free and lead man. That was a long time. No matter how I tried, the years seem to go by just like a broken down band. Make me lights from Montgomery. Might be a thousand of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing I can hold on to. To believe in this living is just hard way to go. Go to work in the morning and come home in the evening. Have nothing to say. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go.
So I say that Steve was my best friend, and I'm kind of lonely without him. And he really taught me everything I know, even though I didn't sing very well because I'm trying not to cry. But I just hope you all make him proud and keep doing what he taught us all, because he really gave me a purpose. And I love you all, and I hope we keep his spirit alive by continuing to play music. So thank you.
Hand of applause, y'all. It's also here for Rachel, Dwayne, Jeff Premsky, Brian Hobbs, Gordon Goes, and Chris Paluto. A great version of that tune, the John Prine classic. We got another couple of musicians coming up for you here. Let's hear it for Kenny and Keith Shaw, the Identicals. Okay, they're on their way. How y'all doing? Dwayne came to me about this show. I don't know, it was almost like immediate after it happened. It seemed like I rolled back in from Thanksgiving and yeah, you and I were talking and such, and you know, it was one of those things where I got the word we were on the road, and I think my wife turned to me on the way, and it was just, we were just amazed at how quickly someone can leave us. Somebody who you just take for granted seeing every day, man. And I know Steve's going to be missed. One of my friends, Beth Fleck, who owns the Coffee Exchange, she and Stephanie, it's hit them particularly hard because they're used to seeing Steve every day. Somebody becomes a part of your routine, you know? Don't just take that for granted. I think that's something we should all definitely take from this. Gentlemen, y'all ready? Yep. Right on. Would y'all please welcome the Identicals?
Thank you so much. Really an honor to be here. Back in our hometown, when we were little, we used to sit right there. And how cool to have an Englishman come in here and add so much to the Rutland scene. Our brother Keith and I, we decided to add a little new member to our musical endeavor, and we had him built for kids in hospitals. Hoping to cheer them up. Yep, giving them something positive to focus on. And we've recently had a song that is playing around the world right now, and we're very excited about it. But we're more excited that the love we see for Steve Audsley and his beautiful sister Linda. Fact is, she's a guitar player. How cool is that? Woo! Yeah, baby. So let's see if I got this thing queued up right. I hope so. You got any sound up front? Ooh, sorry. No sound. So we may not be able to do it. We'll see. Of all things, yeah. Well, it was great to see you. I hope you liked us too. I won't put you through that longer. Thank you.
Steve's here.
This is the fucking PI. That's it. Let's do it. This went #1 in December 2015 with the Academia. Good enough for us. I reach for you through clouds of dew. We always feel so right. This thing called love from up above. The essence of life. So I reach for you through clouds of dew. So lucky. We always feel so right. This thing called love from up above. The time to get out and play. Leave the past behind. Relax, unwind. Best be on our way. Tick-tock, do you wanna ride? Time to get out and play. Leave the past behind. Relax, unwind. Best be on our way. I think of you and all the joy you bring. So beautiful. I wouldn't change one thing. Ooh. Now every day he's one lucky man. I'm a lucky man. So lucky, so welcome to our dream come true. What is that? Shake off the sand, man. That's Keeper. Tick-tock, do you wanna ride? Time to get out and play. Leave the past behind, relax and unwind. We best be on our way. Tick-tock, do you wanna ride? Time to get out and play. Leave the past behind, relax, unwind. best be on our way. Time after time, rhyme after rhyme, I can't explain. They come in waves, they're all about you. What's a man to do? I surrender my heart, it's a brand new start. Oh yeah. Let the imagination fly. Good take. Thank you very much. All right.
Thank you.
So nice to be in Rutland. We love you guys. We've been many places. We can't find anybody better than Rutland, Vermont.
Let's hear it for them, the Identicals. A lot of good people here tonight, a lot of people who knew Steve in different ways, playing in open mics and other things. Would you please welcome to the stage another gentleman to play for you? His name's Eli King.
Me and Steve played about 50 shows together over about 3 years period, and this was hands down his favorite song to play with me. Just about a year ago, head out on the road, seeking my fame and fortune, looking for a pot of gold. Things got bad, things got worse, guess you know the tune. Oh Lord, stuck in Lodi again. Rode in on the Greyhound, I'll be walking out if I go. I was just passing through, must be 7 months or more. Getting out of time and money, looks like they took my friends. Oh Lord, stuck in Lodi again. Well, the man from the magazine, well, he said I was on my way. Somewhere I lost connections, ran out of songs to play. Came into town, one night stand, looks like they took my friends. Oh Lord, stuck in Lodi again. If I only had $1 for every song I've sung, and every time I had to play while the people sat there drunk, know I would catch the next train back to where I live. Oh Lord, stuck in Lodi again. Saying, oh Lord, stuck in Lodi again. Mr. Steve.
Eli King, y'all, let's hear it for him. Nice version of the Creedence classic there. Next up, we've got another person to play for you. Would you please welcome to the stage a fistful of artists?
Check. I definitely got it. Anyways, I came to this town about 11 years ago, and one of the first things I did when I came here was try to hit up all the open mics, and met Steve pretty much right when I came here. And I wasn't very good. He helped me tune my guitar. You know, I got better. And he would always say to me, like, after a while, Dennis, you're really good, but if you just play a cover song, people will get to know you better. And I said, I'm never going to play a cover song. It's been 11 years. I still don't play cover music. I always think of that word comfort, though, because he comforted musicians, he comforted friends in need, and he definitely comforted me in a lot of aspects of life. And I learned a lot from him. He was an angry cuss, but, you know, we need those people in life, you know. Sometimes harsh criticism gets you a kick in the ass. So, I love you, Steve. This song's called Snowflakes. Watching snowflakes falling to the ground, each one unique and different in its sound. Just like the memories retrieved through these eyes, reflected in the years gone by. Well, I've lived through better times than these. Little declarations that brought me to my knees. Images of you in my dreams, never haunting but familiar they seem. Call to me, come to me, comfort me once again. Call to me, come to me, comfort me once again. Well, I've lived through better times than this. Little declarations that brought me to my knees. So won't you please whisper in the wind and let me know you're somewhere, my friend. Call to me, come to me, comfort me once again. Call to me, come to me, I'll comfort you once again. Watching snowflakes falling to the ground, each one unique and different in its sound. Thank you very much. Steve Audsley, I love you, brother.
Let's hear it for a fistful of artists. Nicely done. We've got a lot of people to come, and one thing Steve definitely loved was the blues. And what we have up next for you is an act that calls themselves the Sunnyland Blues Outfit. Would you please welcome Steve Baldwin and Paul Whitney.
Blues outfit. This is Paul Whitney on guitar, and we've been together for a year. We started playing out in July, and I latched on to Steve Audsley for advice. He was kind of our manager. He was our sound man and fan club president. He says, you quit smoking and now you're a much better guitar player or singer or whatever. Okay. He was our fan club president. In November, we played the farmer's market. That was Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I was talking with Steve at the coffee exchange for about 45 minutes, getting advice on the gig, issues I had. Later that afternoon, he had his stroke. This song is from Steve, that's me, to Steve Audsley, and the song is by Stevie Wonder. At the end of the song, let's have a moment of silence. Like a long, lonely stream, I'd be searching for a dream, moving on, moving on. Like a branch on a tree, I'd be reaching to be free, moving on. There's a place in the sun where there's room for everyone, and my poor restless heart gotta run. There's a place in the sun, and then when my life is done, gotta find me a place in the sun. Like an old dusty road, I get weary from the load, moving on, moving on. Like this old tired earth, I'd be roaming since my birth, moving on, moving on. There's a place in the sun where there's room for everyone, where my poor restless heart gotta run. There's a place in the sun, and then when my life is done, gotta find me a place in the sun. You know, when times is bad and you're feeling real sad, or when life is slow and you're feeling mighty, mighty low, little Stevie wants you to always remember There's a place in the sun where there's room for everyone, where my poor restless heart gotta run. There's a place in the sun, and then when my life is done, gotta find me a place in the sun. Gotta find me a place in the sun. Gotta find me a place in the sun. Gotta find me a place in the sun.
The Sunnyland Blues outfit. Let's hear it for him again. Paul Whitney, Steve Baldwin. Glad y'all are here tonight, man. We're celebrating a great guy who had a lot of, he affected a lot of people's lives. Glad people are here to help celebrate this. It's very nice, man. Let's bring up another pair of musicians for you. Doing a Leonard Cohen classic for you, all right? Kevin Wortman, Chris Cornelius. Let's hear it for him, y'all.
Good evening. What a great tribute this has been today, huh?
Oh, there was a secret chord David played and he pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do ya? Goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, minor fall and the major lift. Baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Faith is strong, but you needed proof. She saw her bathing on the roof. Beauty in the moonlight overthrew you. She had 2 kitchen chairs. She broke your throne and she cut your hair. From your lips she drew the hallelujah. 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 Baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked this floor. You know, I used to live alone before I knew you. I've seen your flag on the marble arch. Love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 Maybe there's a God above. All I've ever known from love was how to choose somebody who outdrew you. It's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not somebody who has seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Thank you very much.
Kevin Wortman, Chris Cornelius. Let's hear it for him, y'all. Very nicely done. And the music continues. Want to bring on 3 guys who I think are synonymous with the music scene in Rutland County, much like Steve is. Would you please welcome to the stage Mr. Chad Hollister, Jeff Peremsky, and Aaron Audette. Brian Hobbs also coming out, or what? B. Hobbs? Brian? I don't have him on the list, but Brian. Brian on bass? Brian Hobbs. Paging Brian Hobbs. And Jerry Dubois over here on keys. Let's hear it for Jerry. Y'all, I can swing this up. Do you need one? Chad, we got this one for another vocal.
We just need to get back to Aaron. That's the only thing. How's everybody doing? You know what he's saying right now? Where the fuck were all of you when I was running my open mics? I want to know. It's great to be here. What an amazing cast of characters. And what a legacy. You know, I was talking to so many people who just saying, you know, Steve gave me my first gig. And every time I would roll through town, I lived here for a bit, and every time I would roll through, when I wasn't living here, he would just be like, what are those speakers you're using? What is that microphone? Is that a Telefunken? It's a Sennheiser. He's just always so inquisitive about the sound. You guys ready to rock?
Are you guys ready to rock and roll? One thing I know is Steve Audsley would not want a somber vibe in this fucking theater. Are you ready? I was feeling about a half past there. Just need some place I can lay my head. Mister, can you tell me where I'm at? I'll find a bed. I just couldn't shook my head and no, that's all it said. Take a load off Annie. Take a load of grief. Take a load off Annie. Put the load right on me. Load right on me. Picked up my bag, went looking for a place to hide. When I saw the devil in coming, sitting side by side. He did call me. Come on, let's go to Rutland downtown. Down Miss Moses, there's nothing left that you can say. Just old Primo, waiting for the judgment day. Well, look, my friend, what a bad young enemy. See, do me a favor, son, won't you keep your memory company? Take a load off Fanny, take a load free. Take a load off Fanny. To follow me, and he caught me down in a fall. I will fix your rack if you'll take Jack, my dog. Wait a minute, Chester, sit I'm a peaceful man. He said, that's okay, son, won't you just feel it when you can, when you can. Take a load off Fanny, take a load free, take a load off Fanny. Ladies and gentlemen, Primo! Hey! fall. Take me on down the line. My back is sinking low. I do believe that it's time to get back to Miss Fanny. She's the only one who sent me here to Rutland PT. Her regards for everyone. Let's bring it way down, ready?
Y'all, Chad Hollister, Jeff Perevsky, Brian Hobbs, Aaron Audette, and Jerry over here on the keys. Nicely done, y'all. I am your Uncle Dave, really proud to be a part of this tonight, and we have many more folks coming out tonight, so hang loose. Our next act on the agenda here would be a band calling themselves Low Country Funk. Would you please welcome Neil Blanchett, Michelle Kenny, Blake Gowan, and Nick Fatone.
All right, good evening, everybody. So, wow, how about that music? Wow. I don't know how I feel about following that. So, we're Low Country Funk, and we happen to be one of the bands. A lot of people have been talking about Steve and his open mic nights, and we happen to be one of those bands that are basically one of his open mic babies, as I like to say. I've only known Steve for not quite 3 years, so some of you have known him a lot longer. But I can tell you he is basically just as funny and sassy as they come. And he was really helpful to us as a band. He always supported us. Some of the things that we loved about him is that he wanted everybody up on the stage to have their chance. And it didn't matter whether you thought you were any good, whether you were good or you weren't really any good. It didn't matter. And he welcomed all of us up on the stage. And I am one of those people that was supported by him and pushed by him. And I really appreciate that. And I know the members of my band have known him actually a lot longer than I have. So since I have the microphone, I get to be the one talking. And they don't. But I know that these guys in my band are going to miss him a lot. And they offered friendship to him. And the music scene is just incredible. So we are really grateful to join on stage tonight some of these musicians. So we thank you for letting us share with you. And Steve is definitely going to be missed. So we hope you enjoy our song.
Country Funk. More music coming up. Would you please welcome next to the stage a group of folks who I'm sure you're familiar with. George's Back Pocket. Band featuring tonight, this edition of George's Back Pocket has George Nostrand, Marcos Levy, Gary Miller-Wade, Jeff Peremsky, and Ryan Dubois. Let's hear it for them.
Fucking Steve. I'm using my Steve Audsley pick here, by the way. glassy green for my home. Thank you. Thanks to Dwayne Carlton for helping out with all this. Thanks to Uncle Dave. Thanks to all the amazing musicians. Hey, does Rutland have some good fucking musicians in this town or what? Let me tell you.
Hey, y'all, George's back pocket. Let's hear it for him. Right on. And George is right. We really do have a lot of great musicians in this town. And remember, it's those guys who, like Steve, who played every night of the week, it seemed like, who really made room for everybody because he pioneered it. He got a lot done. I remember one of my old neighbors, Margaret Clifford, when she found out, she immediately sent me a thing about the fact that Steve used to always play at Ponies. And that was something that was special. I know a lot of y'all remember Ponies out there. So yeah, that was one of the bars, man. Steve told me one time about how many bars were here at one time and how many acts at any given night. There was just always something going on. And that's starting to come back a bit, you know. It's nice to see all the storefronts filled on Center Street. It's nice to see the bars out there with great live music. Remember to go out there and support it. That's one thing Steve was always about, was people coming out and supporting the music. So remember that, please. Let's get on with more music, man. Let's get on with more music. Would y'all please welcome to the stage? Y'all about there? Right on. Oh, it's all good. I love these names. Russ Vumbaco on drums, yes. Jesse Hangisto. Also Mac Janey. And let's hear it for Dave Fagan. Would you please welcome to the stage Moons and Goochers.
Appreciate you guys. All right, if Steve was here, he'd tell me my vocals sound like shit. But Steve is a big proponent of the local and original music, so we're going to try a little bit of both there.
What would you treat me bad? I'm the best man you ever had. Well, I'm the best damn man. Rolling out, drinking last night. I got drunk, I got in a fight, but I still love you, girl. There go. last night. We got drunk. We got in a fight. Well, I still love you, girl. Hey, thank you very much. Everybody get home safe tonight. Appreciate you guys.
Moons and Goochers. Let's hear it for them, y'all. We've got more music coming up. Great job tonight on the changeovers, too. Of course, Dwayne responsible for the majority of all this tonight. Let's hear that. Let's hear it for Dwayne and everybody who's helping out tonight. And Jeff Paramsky, who's doing an incredible job as well. Tom O'Brien on sound back here. He's one of the reasons why the Paramount sounds so good. When I first came here 10 years ago, that was one of the big things was meeting Tom and realizing that there were other people in the world who are as insane about the Red Sox as I am. So. Let's get to more music. Would you please welcome to the stage Roger Myro, Rob Perry, Alex Abraham, and Bill Corey. It's 1 minute remaining.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you for all the help throughout the years, 40-odd something years. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the entertainment. This is one of his favorite songs that he heard us play. I'm sure it's not was his favorite song, but one that we played. There's my dreams, bloody dying face down on the floor. I can't relive this emptiness, struggle all alone to fight my war. Day by day I feel it slipping away. The more I struggle, the more I fade away. And all the things you have to hide, every time you had to lie, I'm broken. Never smile my eyes afraid. But every time I wanna break, I'm broken. Nothing seems to be just what I've become. With every ounce of faith I give, still feel it all coming undone. Day by day, I feel you slipping away. The more I crumble, the more I need to pray.
minute remaining. Let's hear it for him, y'all. Right on, man. Okay, we've got more music for you. Okay, let's see. I think we got our next bunch coming up here. Our next bunch coming up. Don't mock me. Oh, man, we got Dwayne Carlton coming up in our next bunch here. Todd Bellinger, Wayne Sorrell, Jim Gilmore, and Ross Edmonds. Would you please welcome to the stage Personal Ads. That band that Dwayne was talking, and for those of you who don't know this, that band that Dwayne was talking about, Steve driving around and so forth, this was that band, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Yeah, this is that band, Personal Ads, Far Out. I've heard the stories. I've never heard the band. This will be good.
There's probably not a lot of people out there that do have. Steve had this great way. So my name is Todd, but Steve would always call me Scrod. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it was an insult.
I think it's an English
thing.
thing.
Hey, Scrod, hey, watch out for the bemmies, eh? I don't want you to catch nothing, Scrod. People get ready. There's a train coming. Don't need no ticket. You just get on board. People get ready. There's a train coming. You don't need no baggage. You just get on board. All you need is faith to hear them diesels humming. You don't need no ticket. You just thank the Lord. Right? There ain't no room for the hopeless sinner who would hurt mankind just to save his own. Have pity on those whose chances are thinner, because there's no hiding place for the kingdom throne. just thank the Lord. Hear me again. You don't need no ticket. You just thank the Lord. One more time, hear it. You don't need no ticket. You just thank the Lord.
Personal ads. Let's hear it for him. Nice to see Jim Gilmore too, man. All right, y'all. The hits keep coming. Let's welcome to the stage Robbie Smolensky, Leroy Lepre, Dwayne Carlton, Brian Hobbs, Jeff Peremsky, and Jerry Dubow. Keep your eyes on the road and your hands upon the wheel, y'all.
So we're gonna do a little drinking song for y'all, that entails y'all coming up here for a moment, because I'd like to see y'all dancing up here and having a good time. Anybody that wants to dance, come on up. Plus, I got a little gift for the first 40 or 50 of you that get up here. So come on up. We got a little gift for you. Come on up. Promise you're gonna like it.
Well, keep your eyes on the road, your hands upon the wheel. Well, keep your eyes on the road, your hands upon the wheel. Yeah, we're going to the roadhouse, we're gonna have a good time, yeah. Come on. Yeah, get back to the roadhouse and find your bungalow. Yeah, get back to the roadhouse, I got your bungalow. And that's for the people who like to go down slow. Come on, let it roll, baby, roll. Let it roll, baby, roll. Let it roll, baby, roll. Let it roll all night long. Come on, boys, do it. Let's go, Steve-O, come on. drink some beers, and do a couple. Well, alright, yeah. Brian Hines, passionately. You gotta roll, 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 gotta steal my soul. You got to eat your food, you got to have some fun, you got to drink some beers and do 2 more shots. Alright, yeah. Passionate lady, passionate lady, give up your vow. I say give up your vow. Save our city, save our city, right now. We're gonna need a little help for this next part, come on. Well, I woke up this morning and I got yeah, I woke up this morning and I got well, your future's uncertain and the end is always near. Nice job. Let it roll, baby, roll. Let it roll, baby, roll. Let it roll, baby, roll. Let it roll. All night long. I love and appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Robbie and the guys, man. That was awesome. Nice job. And the festivities continue. One band I think we are all familiar with over the years with Steve was the Voodoo Alien Blues Band. Let's get them up here. Dwayne Carlton, Jeff Peremsky, Jerry Dubois, Andrew Gervaisis, Bob Stannard, and Matthew Graham. Let's hear it for them, y'all.
Before you start, can I say something?
Can I say something?
Can I say something? I want to say a couple things. First of all, I met Steve Audsley 25 years ago when I was a sideman in a wedding band, and the wedding was from a guy named Jimmy Gilmore. Anybody know Jimmy Gilmore? Steve was passed out in the back, and somebody said, hey, do you mind if my friend of mine plays guitar? And I said, hey, what do I care? I think it was Dwayne, actually, and somebody else had dragged him up on the stage, and I said, oh, this is going to be terrible. And once he came to, he was amazing. I said, you know, I like this guy already. I did a bunch of shows with him over the years, as has everybody here, but enough of that. I want to thank Dwayne Carlton for pulling this together. I want to thank Sally Carlton for this shirt.
And pulling me together.
And pulling him together. And I want to thank our old friend Steve Audsley for pulling all of us together, man.
Yeah. Dave Sarani doing sound. Give it up for Dave. David Lane doing lights. Tommy O'Brien, the Paramount Theatre. George Nostrand. Jeff Paremski.
Somebody gonna hurt you like you hurt me for the road of the road. Somebody gonna hurt you like you hurt me for the wrong of the road. Yeah, just you wait and see. You gotta reap just what you sow. That old saying is true. You gotta reap just what you sow, baby. That old saying is true. Mistreat somebody gonna mistreat you. Well, now you're laughing pretty baby. Someday you're gonna be crying. Well, now you're laughing pretty baby. Someday you're gonna be crying. But further on up the road, you'll find out I ain't lying. Hurt you like you hurt me for the road up the road. Somebody gonna hurt you like you hurt me for the road up the road. Yeah, just you wait.
Where's Linda? For those of you who don't know her, she is Steve's sister. But we know her as Linda. I I think she's coming up for this one, maybe. No, I need it. Oh, no, I don't need it. Yeah, this is all I need. Yeah. Wow. And they just met you when they think that.
Change your mind about that, really. I don't. I've had too much wine to drink now.
Oh, Stevie would not approve of that.
No, my brother would really not approve of that. He would really tell me off. It's not professional. I have to say, you've all been really, really awesome, and I forgot. So I took it off the thingy. So you have to bear with me for a minute. Right. These beautiful flowers have been provided for free from Hawley's Florist, which is like just across the road somewhere. And they are awesome flowers, aren't they? Beautiful flowers. I don't even know if there's anyone in the audience now, but never mind. They're great flowers, and if ever you need flowers, go to Hawley's. Yeah. Yes. And one other thing too, we have to thank all the ushers and the people behind the bar here, because they've given up their time. And some of them probably knew my brother, and some of them probably didn't, but they were willing to come out tonight. So I think we should give these guys and the sound engineer. Yes. So, this guy gave me a lesson. Steve, when I was over in 1991, he said, "Hey, you gotta have a lesson." That's because I was crap. Slowly, that's because I was crap. I had to have a lesson. So my brother made me go around and sit with Dwayne, who gave me a lesson, and I've still got the lesson. Yeah? That was 20 years ago. I've still got the lesson. I found it the other
You can
day.
teach it back to me now.
No. So I'm going to have a little bash at this song, which I only heard the other day, which was written by my brother, apparently.
It was written by your brother.
It's really, really miserable. Bit out of character. But I don't play anything like him, especially after 2 wines, but I don't play anything like, so don't expect anything great here. All right? Just bear with me and be nice to me.
Ten long years, climb that hill, just to give you all my money, girl, to pay the bills. Now you're telling me that something's wrong. Spend your time with someone else. Girl, when I'm gone, now there's a cold wind blowing my way, like winter came early. It's here to stay. Got me chilled to the bone. Blues is coming home. Now here I sit, all alone, with my good friend the blues. I can't go wrong. One day, baby, I might see you again. Until that day, the blues will be my only friend. Now there's a cold wind blowing my way, like winter's come early, and it's here to stay. Got me chilled to the bone. And the blues is coming home. That's Linda Audsley. There's only so much pain that a man can take before he's losing it all. His heart begins to break. One day, baby, I might see you again. Until that day, the blues will be my only friend. Now there's a cold wind blowing my way, like winter's come early, and it's here to stay. Got me chilled to the bone. And the blues is coming home.
Dwayne Carlton. Give it up for Dwayne.
Chill to the Bone by Steve Audsley.
Let's hear it for the Voodoo Alien Blues Band. Linda, incredible guitar there, man. That's Steve's guitar? Far out. That's Steve's guitar. Far out.
You know, when I was here in 1991, there was a guitar exactly like this, but made in the USA. And Steve said to me, you know, you have to buy that. And I said, no, I don't like those guitars. He said, no, you have to buy that. So I did. And do you know why I had to buy it? So when he came to visit us, he could play it. So I'm playing your guitar tonight.
Right on, man. Woo! All right, man, we're going to keep the Voodoo Alien Blues Band up here. And our lineup for this one will be Chris Kleeman, Casey... Chris isn't here. So this is Chris, okay. So Chris, playing the part of Chris Kleeman will be Dwayne Carlton, Casey Grant, Jeff Peremsky, Blake Gowan, Pete Giancola, Mike Durkee, Chaz Canny, and Brad Morgan on keys, I believe. Welcome them all up here, y'all. This is quite a good bunch.
Yeah, I'm gonna play fucking Steve's guitar way too loud, so stand by.
Yep. Oh, wait, there's an extra one if you got for the horn guys. Got it. We'll get the horn guys in there. They could use one over here too. Yeah. We got horn players on this one. Chaz is like a second generation like Steve, Steve friend. They got you shut off. He admittedly frightened you. He frightened a lot of us.
Tell everybody not to push in town. Hey, hey. Tell me what you did. You can call me what you want, but I can call and mess with me.
Did Rick Reddington? Rick is here. Heavily Brothers. Stevie said, you should put the Heavily Brothers in the Paramount, so we did. I remember, there's I remember Ricky working at Sal's with Steve.
That's right.
Used to sneak us pizzas out the back door. Allegedly. So just so everybody knows, everybody that knows the chorus of this song or just wants to come up, everybody is welcome to come up, sing. Where's Steve Cahill? He's supposed to be up here too. Steve Cahill. Where's he? Yeah, I guess. It's right there. Yeah, we got a guitar amp for you. Steve Cahill. Steve Cahill played with Steve in his first band in America.
When I used to work when I worked at Sal's, it was Steve Cahill, Steve Audsley.
And you.
And Steve was in a band called the British American band called with a guy named Rich Miller, who was another guitar player. I thought that was my mom.
Robbie tracked him down.
So the three of those guys used to argue over, showing me the right technique there in the kitchen. And eventually I figured something out anyway.
Well, with that much help, how could you not?
This guy close to us.
So was it the Vermont Rock Company, right? Wasn't that the name of the band, Steve? There's some posters out front. So like I said, even if you're sitting in your seats, please join us all on the chorus for this song. Got it.
This as well was fucking Steve's guitars. Honor to play it today.
everything can be replaced. Seeing distance is not near, so I
remember every face of every man that's put me here. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, I shall be relieved. They say every man needs protection. Say that every man must fall. Well, I swear I see my reflection somewhere so high above the sky. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, I shall be relieved. Steve's red guitar there. Standing next to me in this lonely crowd is a man who swears he's not to blame. All day long I hear him shout so loud, crying out that he was free. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east.
Mr. Terry J on the drums. Love you, Stevie. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you to the Paramount. Thank you, Steve Audsley.
Let's hear it for all of them tonight, y'all. A lot of great musicians right here in Rutland County. And all of us were touched by Steve Audsley. Everybody in this room tonight. So it's carrying on over at Center Street Alley. There is more music to come tonight. So head on over and let's have a little bit more fun remembering Steve tonight. Thank you for coming out to the Paramount. Like I said, more music over at Center Street Alley. Come out tonight and enjoy yourselves, and thank you tonight for coming out and remembering Steve. It's very special. Thanks, y'all.
Hey guys, before you go, thank you so much. Thank you.